hope you're doing well. Before we start, I just want to say I'm using a new filming setup, so if the camera is shaking or anything like that, that's why. My boyfriend got me a new phone stand and I'm trying it out, and I'm also using a phone remote so that I don't have to touch the phone so that it doesn't shake. But today I wanted to share with you my techo kaigi for 2025. We're going to go through each book. I have 8 books in total, and they all kind of serve a different purpose. So we're going to go through each book. I'm going to tell you what I'm planning to use to write in it. And yeah, so let's just get started. So if we move some of this stuff out of the way, we can start looking at individual books. The first book that I plan to use is the Hobonichi Hone in the A5 size. This is a monthly planner, a weekly planner, and a daily planner. So I've done a little bit of setup here. I might change this. I'm not super happy with it, but that's all right. And then this is December's monthly. So right now I'm using, this is the Lamy LX, and I have it inked with J. Herbin Pearl Noir. And I'm finding it is pretty nice in here. It is a little bit bolder than I'm used to. It's a fine nib, I believe. And yeah, so I'm doing a little bit of daily journaling in these boxes, and I'm using some stickers in my collection as well as the sheet from Midori. I really like how these just blend into the page and almost look hand-drawn, so that's nice. And so there are weekly spreads, or monthly spreads, weekly and daily. So for the dailies, I'm planning on writing a brief to-do list. There are these check boxes at the top, so I was thinking I could use that for priorities. And then probably gonna split the page here and then maybe do some drawing along the bottom and a little bit of journaling. I usually write more than an A5 sheet of paper per day, so I do have a plan for that. That's going to be the next book that we'll look at. But I'm really excited to use this. It comes with a clear pencil board, though I might use a smaller pencil board because I just use it to block my hand from touching the ink. And yeah, this is going to be like my main daily book. If I have other projects I need to work on, I do have other systems for that I plan to use. But that's pretty much the overview of that. I'm probably gonna do like weekly flip throughs of the pages in here. At least that's my plan. But yeah, really excited to use this. It'll be my first time using a techo from Hobonichi. And the next book is something that I'm already using in 2024. I got this cover at the beginning of 2024. It's the Yumi Kitagishi, I think this is called Little Gifts, and it's a fabric cover, and then I have a clear cover on cover to protect it. And in here I have an A6 grid notebook. So this doesn't have any dates or anything like that. It's just a plain grid. And I'm currently using this for daily journaling, but in the next year I want to use this as an overflow journal. So if I feel like writing more than an A5 sheet of paper, I'm going to use this. And when this runs out of pages, I plan to use some notebooks that I have in my stash, things that I haven't used up. I'm just going to make a divider of where the old notes are and then the new pages will be, if that makes sense. But yeah, I would like to buy more of these A6 notebooks, but for me it's just a little expensive considering what I use it for. It's just like daily thoughts and journals, and I can do that in any notebook. Unfortunately, a lot of them aren't fountain pen friendly like this is, so I will probably be using gel pens. But in this book, I just use whatever pens I have currently inked. And I have this pencil board. I use this as a bookmark and also to protect the page while I'm writing, because this is kind of sensitive to hand oils. And then The next book that I'm going to use, this is very practical and functional and not really aesthetically pleasing, but this is just a plain lined notebook with a coil binding. And the thing I like about this is that I have a lot of room to spread out and do brain dumps, to-do lists, that kind of thing. And I can throw this out at the end of the year if I don't feel like I need to keep it. And also I can tear out the pages, which is really nice. So I will show you a page. So this is generally what my spreads look like. I have like books that I read this past year, priorities, other to-dos. This is a home project to-do list. And if I move things, I just put an arrow and I'll rewrite the list with like updated checkboxes. And then I typically will put the date here. I don't really do anything with the weather, but I could if I needed to. So yeah, very functional. This is kind of like a supplementary notebook that I can do rough planning in, longer to-do lists, ongoing to-do lists, things that I don't want to clutter up the Hobonichi with. The next book that I have is kind of like my on-the-go book. This is a hardcover True Red notebook. It has a ton of pages, and again, I'm carrying this over from 2024. This is kind of like what I would put in my purse or my bag if I'm going out, so that I can do journaling, list making, drawing, and it's just grid paper, which I really like. So it's flexible, and this I got at Staples. I think it was pretty inexpensive, and it's not fountain pen friendly. So what I plan to use in this is gel pens. I'm not sure that I have the pen that I would like to use, but as an example, I would just use like this Pentel Energel on the go, and I would put it in a case. And yeah, it's just a nice size. Like, I don't think it's too big, and then it also has an elastic, so if it's in my bag, it's not gonna open, so the pages aren't gonna get wrecked being in my bag. Finally, in terms of notebooks, this is a Voyager's notebook in the navy color. This is very similar to a traveler's notebook, but it is a little bit smaller. I can get these locally really inexpensive, so that's what I chose to use. So in here I have my mental health planner. This is just a grid insert with a craft paper cover, and in here I do monthly logs about my mental health. I sometimes do it more often than that depending on how I'm feeling, and yeah, so this is really helpful. It's interesting to see kind of like how I'm progressing and how my mental health is over the course of like a year. Again, something I'm carrying forward from 2024, but I have a lot of empty pages, so I want to keep it all in one book rather than like putting this on the shelf and then picking up a new book. Just want it all in one place. And then another carryover from 2024, you're sensing a theme, I'm sure. This is like a goal book. So again, I do like a monthly goal setting page. I do reflections in here, and this is a plain like blank notebook. I just have like a test page at the back. And again, I like the idea of all my goal setting being in one book. Something I realized this morning when I was flipping through this book is that you have these monthly columns, and there's this really nice space down here that I thought I could do a brief overview of my goals. And then in this book, I can kind of go more in depth with specifics like times, like the SMART goal kind of checklist, because I like to use that. It's something I learned in therapy and I find it really helpful. And then finally I have another, it's a grid insert, yeah, and in here I have like a printable monthly calendar, and this is blank. So what I'm planning to use this for, in the past I was using this just as like my planner, but for this I am thinking project breakdowns would be really perfect in this. So if I have like a commission or some kind of creative project that's gonna take a little while to complete, I can like break down all my tasks, put in deadlines, and that's what I'm gonna use this for, because I don't wanna like put that into my Hobonichi, because for the Hobonichi, it's mostly like memory planning or memory keeping, events, that kind of thing, personal life stuff. So I thought I would use that for this, just so I don't waste the printables that I printed. And yeah, it's got a Sunday start, which is a little confusing because in the Hobonichi it has a Monday start. I prefer a Monday start, but I'm just gonna use this and try to stay organized with that. And then I have, this is just a sticker release book that I made. It's a Matisse painting from an art book, and I staple bound some sticker release paper that I had, and in here I just have mostly like stickers related to mental health so that I can use them in this, like kind of this sort of thing in here, and it just tucks nicely in the back. And I have this ladybug charm that I got at, I believe, Michael's, and I like how that looks. So yeah. And then I have 3 sketchbooks that I plan to use in the beginning of January. Knowing me, I will probably complete these before I don't know, like Q3. I hope I finish it before then, but we don't know for sure. So the first book that I have, this is a hardbound, or it's like a quill bound hardcover book with mixed media paper, and in here I'm doing just kind of like looser drawings and planning for illustrations. I am using like 2 colors of Tombow markers in these. I really like the effect of like blocking in the shapes with a lighter color and then adding details with the darker color of the same kind of like hue. And I do a bit of journaling in here with gel pens. Sometimes I use like micron pens because this paper isn't the best with gel pen, but yeah. And then I'm also doing like artist studies. So this is Paul Klee. Did these little drawings that kind of combine like my illustration style with his geometric abstract work. This is just a look at some pages. This was a Scribble Brigade session. If you're familiar with Sophie McPike, she does these really great live streams where you can do like timed drawings with her. So this was what I did during the session, and then these drawings are what I did inspired by the session, and I absolutely love how these turned out. So these are 4 colors and just like landscapes. I got most of the references from Pinterest. And I also have like mixed media work, so I did the same image in 3 different like mediums. So this is collage, this is brush pen, and the top one is Tombow marker and brush pen. And the brush pen I'm using is the Pentel brush pen. This is really awesome. You can fill this with like cartridges, and the brush nib is, you get like such interesting line variation. You can do like dry brushing with this. It's just awesome. I think it's called the Pentel Pocket brush pen, if I'm not mistaken. I got this last year for my birthday, no, Christmas, and I really like that. It's kind of tricky to use, so I'm still trying to figure out how to use it properly. But I'm also doing, this week I was doing some fountain pen ink paintings, and I love the depth in here, and I love how crinkly the pages are. But yeah, I'm having so much fun in this book. It's really allowing me to be a little bit more experimental and free with my drawing. I don't feel like everything has to be perfect, and again, it's coil bound, so if I don't like a certain drawing or page, I can just tear it out, and it's not something that I have to be too precious with. Next, I showed this in another video, but this is a Royal Talons Art Creation sketchbook. This is A5 size. It's actually a little bit smaller than A5. Yeah. But for me, this is like standard sketchbook size. What we used in school was always this size, and this handles wet media really well. I wouldn't say you can do like really intense like washes or layering, but this is marker, watercolor, and ink. I'll do some journaling in here. I showed this in another video, so I'll keep it brief, but yeah. Gouache, collage, pencil, crayon, just mixed media stuff, but I want this to be more finished, so I typically use this at home, and yeah, I'm having a lot of fun with it. I uploaded, sorry about the cat hair and dog hair. I uploaded a sketchbook tour of a similar book to this. I think I have it behind me. This is another one that I filled out, and yeah, the tour for that is up on my channel if you want to watch it. And yeah, so pretty simple. And then the final book that I have and final sketchbook that I have is this small little square one. So this is from Michael's, and it's just a hardbound square sketchbook. But what I really like about this is that it has the square pages, but also you can get these really nice like long wide spreads, and I find that it really pushes like compositions to interesting places. So I made this and I did a digital illustration of it. I can pop it up right here. But yeah, I'm having a lot of fun with this. I'm using, this is a mild liner in copper, and I'm using this end to do most of my drawings because the color match is really nice for that, but I'm not like set on using that marker in there. I'll probably change my mind. But what I was saying earlier is that this book and this pen case, sorry, just one sec. This pen case is a really nice combo to bring on the go with me. It's super slim and fits into my bag really nicely. I have a Baggu medium crescent bag, and this is like a really good size to fit in that. This is the Leehit Lab slim pen case. I have this Keroppi keychain on here, and then this is a enamel pin by, I think, People I've Loved is the brand. So that's the lineup. I'm just gonna try to stack these somewhat nicely to close out the video. Is that it? No. Cool, so yeah, 8 books. That's what I plan to use. I was talking about this another time that I recorded this video, and I am going to try to remain flexible. If I change my mind about any of these books, I'm okay with that. The only one that I don't really want to let go is this one. It's dated, so obviously I would like to use it during 2025, but if my needs change and another book comes along, I'm okay with switching that up. So I think that's it. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions about any of these books or like media that I've used in them, please let me know in the comments down below. If you want to subscribe, that would be great. I'm going to be uploading more creative content related to journaling and art. Would love to have you here, and I think that's it. So have a great day. Take care. Bye.